earned yet. I just started 4 days ago. Okay, this business is not good, you haven't earned it. Hey, I've been in this business a week. I've spent most of this time just training, so I haven't earned yet. However, my uncle who brought me in is now doing about $1,000 or $1,500 a week, and he's only been in 3 months. Really? Yeah, look, here are his checks. This is what his organization looks like now. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Doesn't mean just because you don't have your testimony that you can't do this business. And tell this to your new leaders and your new potential leaders. Because I hear that all the time. Oh, no, I can't do this business. I don't have my coin yet. What about us when we started in the business? We didn't have a coin. How were we able to show people that this is a business that's viable? We didn't have a coin. I had somebody come up one time and, I actually picked this up from someone. He also didn't have a coin. And, I want to see the coin. I'm not going to do this business to see the coin. Yeah. So the guy just took out, one ringgit and said, hey, look, it looks exactly like this except it's gold. Yeah. So now I use that all the time when I go to meetings. And, everybody thinks I always carry gold coins. Joe, do you have a coin? This guy wants to see a coin. Well, here's one. Well, that's just 1 peso. Well, it's a coin. Yeah, but we want to see one of Gold Quest coins. It's the same, except it's gold. It's round. It has 2 sides. I mean, how low-tech do you want to be? Okay? People take you more seriously if you have business cards. You can't go around, Arnold, this is a fantastic, Joe, this is great. You're in McDonald's. Oh, Joe, how can I call you? What's your number? Give me that napkin. It just doesn't sit right. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I have my business card. Here it is. You know what having a business card does? Okay. When you give your business card to someone, this connotes that, number one, I'm proud of what I'm doing. I've put my name, I've put my stamp on this endeavor. I'm proud of it. And I'm taking it seriously enough that I've invested in my own cards. That's what you're saying when you give a business card over. People would ask me, Joe, what do you do? I'm a prosperity trainer. I teach people how to earn money. Hey, that's what you guys are. You should also have your own mobile phone, okay? Or beepers, where applicable. Okay, I read a test one time. I was a manufacturer before, so I used to read a lot of these productivity tests and production tests. And I read this study once where they had 2 groups of people. Okay, let's say a group of 10 here and a group of 10 here. All of them basically the same educational background, same IQ level. They were chosen. Okay, now they were given the same set of tests. They had to wear headphones. And all these distracting noises, sirens, loud rock music, dogs barking and crowds cheering. On the other side, the other 10, they also had the same thing, the noise and everything. But the group over here had a little switch where they could turn off the sound. Okay? Now, of course, the results were not surprising. Who do you think scored higher? This group or this group? Yeah, the group with the switch scored higher. Okay, that didn't surprise the researchers. What surprised them was not one of the people in the group actually used the switch. No, really. Just the fact that they knew they had control over a situation made them perform better. Okay, not one of the people, not one of the participants used the switch. In other words, they had the same noise, they had the same distractions, but they performed much better. The point I'm trying to make here is when I would have new people coming into my organization, okay, I give them my business card, and I give them my home phone, my hand phone number, and my beeper. And I would tell them, if you're going out to see a client, okay, I was involved in another business that was very technical, okay, and a lot of training. Many times people wouldn't go see prospective clients and customers simply because they were so scared that the demos would fail and the tests would fail, or they would be asked a question that they couldn't answer. I mean, let's face it, nobody likes to be embarrassed. So I would tell them, I'd give them a card and I'd tell them, if you ever are in front of anyone, okay, and you can't answer the questions that they're asking, just give me a call. Just call me on my hand phone. That motivated them so much. They went out and started doing their own presentations and product demos. Hardly anybody ever called. Really, hardly anybody called. Just the fact that they knew that their leader's number was in their pocket and he was a phone call away, motivated them already to go and do the business. Okay? Always remember that. Let the people in your organization know that you are available. Okay? And they will feel more confident. Now, the cornerstone of your foundation, we talked a little bit about it earlier and how important it is. And I know many, many times that people think that this word is overused. Okay, I hear everybody talking about this. Okay, so let's analyze carefully what a vision does for you. Okay, let's quantify it. Let's not vision a nebulous word. Okay, vision this, vision that. Let's quantify. What does a vision really do? Number one, it determines your direction. Okay? For example, if somebody lived in Kuala Lumpur and wanted to go to Johor, okay, where would he go? If his vision was to go to Johor, where would he go? Where south? Let's say this is south. Okay. For reference purposes, let's say this is south. Let's say Johor is that way. If you know you're going to Johor, you know you're going in that direction. Right? Having no vision is like a guy waking up in the morning and saying, okay, today I want to go somewhere. Where do you want to go? I don't know. So how does he know what direction to go? How does he know what route to take? How does he know what bus or what car what route to take with his car? How does he know what time he's going to get there? And most important, how does he know if he's going the wrong direction? He doesn't know. He's not really going in it. But if he knows he was going to Johor, and he knows he's going in that direction, and he takes a bus that's going to Ipoh, you know what I'm saying? Then he knows that he can correct himself and go the right direction. That's what a vision does for you. It sets you on the right path. Okay, many people have absolutely no idea where they're going. They don't know what time they're getting there. They don't know what route's going to take them there. They don't know how long it's going to take. They don't know if they're going the wrong way. I know. I went around for many years in my life without a vision. And I just kind of went where the wind would blow me. Oh, one day it was here, okay, I'm there. One day it's here. But when I sat down one time with my discipler and he gave me a vision of where he thought my life should go given the circumstances I was in, then that's the time my life started moving in a predominantly forward direction. So remember, a vision determines your direction. I always talk about Tiger Woods because, Tiger Woods is one of my favorite. Well, it still is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is still the hamana of all basketball players. Okay, but even Michael Jordan idolizes Tiger Woods because he's just a really good golfer. But his vision was to be the best golfer of all time. He didn't take up swimming. You know what I'm saying? Because of his vision, he took up golf at an early age. Bill Gates had the vision to put a PC in every home. He didn't go into the lumber industry. Right? If your vision is to have a PC in every home, I guess you should be involved in the computer business. Simple. It determines your direction. And another thing that vision does for you is you become internally motivated. Nobody has to sit there and, come on, Joe, you got to do this. No. I have a vision. I know when I want to reach it. I know what time. And nobody has to motivate me. How many have visions here? How many want to build large global organizations? Does anybody have to push you in the morning to do this business? Did anybody have to push you to come here this weekend? That's what a vision does for you. Internal motivation. For me, that's the best. Not because, you're performing because somebody's there cracking a whip over your head. No, because you want to fulfill your vision. That's the best kind of motivation there is. The next thing that a vision does for you. Having a vision helps you overcome obstacles. When you have a vision for something, then you're willing to go through a little pain, right? Again, when I talk about pain, nobody says. When I talk about large global organizations, whoa! When I talk about pain, no, that's not me. Training for the 400-meter dash is one of the most painful processes in track and field. Okay, simply because the body wasn't designed to sprint 400 meters. Yet Michael Johnson, y'all know who Michael Johnson is, the guy with the gold shoes, trained every day for 10 painful years because he had the vision to win Olympic gold. Not just in one, but two events, the 200 and the 400. I mean, when you, how do you call this, have a vision, you're willing to go through all of this. You're willing to go through a little pain because you understand that it's the process. However, having a vision for something is not something you do in one sitting. You don't sit down and then walk away. Okay? It takes a lot of introspection, soul searching, and courage. You have to have courage to think. Don't wimp out. Don't wimp out. No, I don't think I can reach that. I better not reach that because it's just going to hurt if I don't reach it. Don't be a wimp. It takes courage to dream. Sit down. How high do you want to go? How high do you want to fly with this business? I always tell people in my training and my children, when you establish your visions and your goals, have what I call the 50-50 rule, 50-50% rule. If you have a 100% chance of hitting your goal or likelihood of hitting your goal or your vision, then it's too low. You know what I'm saying? It's too low. I want to be a high jumper someday. Someday I'm going to jump 1 foot. I mean, if you have a 100% chance, then it's too low. If you're going to set a goal, set it high. But don't set it so high that even if you're only 50%, you think you're a failure. You have to give yourself 50% chance of failure, but that 50% is still an achievement above other goals. You see what I'm trying to say? That's the standard I set for myself. If I'm going to set a goal, I'm going to set it high. I give myself the 50-50 rule. But sit down, okay? It takes a lot of time. And one good way to help you see your vision for this business, and for anything else basically, is to sit down and think, what are my compelling reasons for doing this business? What are my compelling reasons? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing Gold Quest? Why am I pursuing the Gold Quest dream? I have to write it down. What is it that I have a burning desire for? Identify it, because I'm telling you, that's gonna determine your work ethic, determine your directions. Compelling reason number 1 for me, at least with my list. You want to know my compelling reasons? Have you sat down? Because it's really something that you have to go through. Number 1, compelling reason number 1, I don't want to grow old poor. I want to work hard now while I'm young. Okay, I'm not so young. I'm already 28. Okay. I have nothing against poor people. It's the poverty that I don't like. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been with and I've been without. And frankly, I prefer with. Okay, I don't know about you guys. Compelling reason number 2, I don't want to be in debt. I've been in debt once. I don't ever want to be in debt again. And I figure, if you make $1 million a month, you probably won't be in debt. As long as you don't spend $2 million a month. Okay? Which is another seminar in itself, financial management. Okay? Compelling reason number 3. Okay? Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm married, I have 5 kids. My wife is my queen. My wife is I know it's old-fashioned, but she's she's my queen. And a queen doesn't worry about, the bills, the amortization, and, oh my gosh, how am I going to put food on the table tonight? No, a queen enjoys the kingdom that her king has built. That's for me. Now, I'm not saying, when I married my wife, I promised her that I would be the best husband that I could be. And part of being a good husband is being a good provider. I'm not saying that money is everything. Okay, I'm not saying that just because you earn well, you're a good husband. No way. But part of it is being a good provider. Okay, I want my wife, to enjoy her queendom, I guess you call it. I mean, do you ever go out with your wife to a restaurant and say, and sit down and you want to have a nice time with your wife and you sit down in a nice restaurant, you open the menu, what do you look at? Nobody looks at the food, right? Everybody looks at the price. I mean, don't you want to sit down with your wife and say, honey, order anything you want? You know what I'm saying? I remember the days I'd sit down with my wife and, oh my gosh. And she's like, so, what do you want, dear? Oh, I'll have the pasta with steak. Why don't you have some coffee instead? Oh, but Joe, I'm hungry. Have 2 coffees. You know that feeling? Or you're walking with your wife in the mall, and she's like, oh, look at this dress. It's so beautiful. And you're like, no, it's out of fashion. And she shows you a pair of shoes, and you're like, it's not your style. Now, I don't think, I laugh about it, but I take it very, very seriously. And I don't think I'm alone in this room. I think all of us are the same way. And I want to give my wife, that's compelling for it. Keeps me awake nights. I want to be able to sit down in a restaurant with my wife, open the menu and say, what do you want, dear? And not have to say anything. Compelling reason for me. Compelling reason number 4. Okay? Bible says leave an inheritance for your children. Okay? And I have 5. Okay? And I want to leave an inheritance. I'd like, each one to have at least, the dwelling place, either a bungalow or a condominium. I don't know. But I'm working really hard. I'd like, to leave them a nest egg of, $1 million each. No, I'm not adopting. Okay? So, no need to apply. Hey, are you going to set your visions high or not? Are you going to set your goals high? Do you love your kids or not? I'm just saying, these things keep me awake. It's compelling for me. Compelling reason number 5. I want to own my own home. And not just, something, okay, this is all I can afford. You see what I'm trying to say? I have a burning desire to play golf 6 days a week. But to do that, you have to build a certain base. You see what I'm trying to say? Identify, sit down. What am I doing here? What am I doing this weekend? What am I doing in this business? Why am I here? What are my compelling reasons? Am I here just because, wow, everybody else seems to be doing it? No. What are your compelling reasons? List them down. Sit down. Commit to paper your compelling reasons and your burning desires. Write it down. There's a saying that goes, write it down on tablets. The Bible says write your visions down on tablets. Remember, a vision not committed into writing is just wishful thinking. Okay? Sit down. That's why I say it doesn't happen in one sitting. It's a process. And over the months, over the years, it'll probably change. It'll probably change. There's one customer in the Philippines, and she was saying, before, when I would earn $800 a week, I'd be like, wow, this is it. And then when it hit $2,000 a week, she was freaking out. And then at $4,000 a week, she thought she was on top of the world. And then she's hitting 10, 12, 13. In fact, the last time I was there, somebody was telling me, Chip, this girl, she She took her check, threw it away. Oh, it's only 8,000. Many, many times your visions change, your goals change. So you have to be willing to sit down and, change them again. And hopefully it's to make them higher. If you drive yourself properly and have the proper work ethic, it might probably higher. Once your vision is firmly established in your heart, it's now time to set them into goals. Okay, we've talked about all the nice stuff, but now this is where the action begins. Okay, remember, we're talking about foundational work. We're talking about getting the head start in this business. And your best foundation is you. Don't you dare start, the task of leading others until you've built a foundation in you. So set goals, okay? The visions, okay, are what is now broken down and made into goals. Okay, so when you set your goals, okay, if I want to earn, let's say I want to earn $10,000 a week. That's your vision. Okay, how am I going to do this? To earn $10,000 a week, I need this kind of organization. I need this many steps a day, this many cycles. What kind of organization do I need? How many leaders do I need? Don't talk about volume. Don't talk about sales. One hint, it's not here, it's not, on the program. But let me tell you, if you want to build income, if you want to build, your dream income, don't think sales, don't think volume, think leadership base. Think leadership base. If I want to earn $1,000 a week, how many leaders do I have to have? If I want to earn $5,000 a week, what does my leadership base look like? If I want to earn $10,000 a week, what does my leadership base have to look like? The volume, the income is just a byproduct of the leaders. That's basically what it is. Now we've talked about several aspects, but we have to on how to get a business set up properly. Number one, getting educated, setting up your own office, establishing your goals through vision. Now we shall go into the final part. Okay, and some of you are going, okay. Final part of your foundation, okay. You must submit yourself to a leader and get trained. And I use the word submit. Okay, you have to go to someone, okay, submit yourself to him and get yourself trained. Okay? Training will teach you how to achieve the goals and realize your dreams. Okay, we've talked about the dreams, we've talked about the goals. Now you have to get yourself trained, okay, so that you know how, specifically, what do I have to do? Okay, I know I have to make a good presentation, right? But, okay, specifically, what makes an effective presentation? Yes, I know that I, have to know how to answer objections. Okay, specifically, what are these objections? You see what I'm saying? That's what training is going to do for you. Okay, it's going to help you identify. Okay, and then finally learn how to do it. This business can be a lot of fun and be very fulfilling, both emotionally and, of course, financially, if you know how to do it right. Okay, I wanted this in red, underlined, and 3 exclamation points. Okay, if you know how to do it right. I want to stress that. However, on the other hand, if you don't know what you're doing, and many people don't, the whole experience can be likened to banging your head against the wall. Correct? How many have done this business unsuccessfully for a while first, before they realize that they have to get trained? How many started that way? Isn't it frustrating? Isn't it the most frustrating thing to do, to know that you want to do something and you can't? It's like banging your head against the wall. Now let me tell you, you can be intelligent, you can be successful, you can be influential, you can be wealthy, but if you don't know how to do this business properly, I guarantee you, you will fail. I know many, many people that have come into this business. Oh yeah, I am the chief executive president, directors, chief of staff of the board is the chairman, and I'm it. You're lucky to have me in your organization. I mean, there are people like that. Training program, me attend the training program. Hey, I do the training in my organization. If you don't know how to do this business, you know what I tell people like this? Fine, sir, I'm sure you're intelligent, I'm sure you're an expert in your business, but in this business, diddly squat. Sometimes that's what it takes. You just have to sit them down and say, fine, you may be a great lawyer, but you don't know anything about this business. If you want to succeed, sit down, get training. If you're not willing to get trained, here's your draft. I don't want it. I don't care who you are. Here, I don't look for people that are qualified, influential. I look for people that are hungry. I look for people that have compelling reasons. I look for people that have burning desires and they say, Joe, these are it. Show me what I have to do and what I have to learn to achieve it. Those are the kind of people you want to work with. Those are the kind of people. I'd rather have 2 of those. I'd rather have 2 of those than 10 chiefs of industries who refuse to submit themselves to training. I'd rather have 2 that will say, Joe, you tell me what I have to do. I don't care. Whatever it takes, I want to achieve this goal. All you need are 2 or 3 people like that. Admit the fact that you don't know everything about the business and get training. How do you get training? Attend seminars. Okay? Don't limit yourself to, like I said, there's a wealth of knowledge outside. Hang around with your leaders. Pump them for information. Hey, I heard you had a successful meeting last week. You know, what happened? What'd you do? Hey, I heard you have a really big group that's moving really, really well. Why? What did you do to motivate them? What did you do? Hang around. What do they do? Why are these people successful? Wouldn't you want to find out why Ranjit is where he is? Why Mama Isa has a network and Tony Kong and Peter Ng and Patman? Don't you want to find out, Patrick? How'd you build your network? Hang around your leaders. Pump them for information. If you had, many of you are embarrassed, right? Oh yeah, but he might say I'm being too overbearing and blah, blah, blah. If you had somebody in your organization under you who's hungry for learning, are you going to get turned off with this guy? Why not? Because you wish you had 20 more like him. You know what I'm saying? People who are, hey Joe, teach me some more. Hey, I heard you're doing a business presentation. I'm not going to bring anyone, but can I go? I just want to pick up on some energy. I just want to learn some techniques. Go up. Master these 3 skills in training. You only need 3 basic skills. You have to know how to present the business effectively. If you want to succeed in this business, you must know how to present. There's 2 ways to present, effectively and ineffectively. Okay, you have to learn how to present the business effectively. Okay? Number 2, how to answer objections. You have to know how to answer objections. I know it's intimidating at times. Okay, especially if you don't set up the appointment properly, which we'll get into tomorrow in more detail. Okay, but really, once you learn how to answer objections, isn't it easy? And number 3, how to build your organization through support and training. Those are the only 3 skills that you need to really make it big in this business. You don't need an MBA graduate degree. You don't need a PhD course, doctorate. No, you don't need that. You just have to master these 3 basic skills. Now, of course, these 3 basic skills, have components. But let me tell you, a diligent student of this business, okay, when I say diligent, somebody who's willing to submit himself to training and somebody who will actually go out, okay, and do what he learned in training. Okay, you want to make money in this business, hit the road, do the business on a daily basis. Because if you do it properly, the rewards are unbelievable. And I'm not just talking about financial rewards. How many have fun doing this business? Well, that's great. Wow. That's great. Give yourselves a hand, man. You guys are doing something right. I didn't think there'd be that many. You guys are having fun. I'm having fun. You guys keep the business fun. Okay? Make sure you submit yourself to training. Find out what does it take to succeed. And believe me, this business can be something that will be global. Once you master these 3 skills, there's nothing that can stop your organizations from growing